The industry in general is going to go through a wonderful transformation over the next 5 to 10 years. I think that at times it could be painful for those of us living inside this industry, but I think digital music and the way consumers use digital music is dramatically changing the face of music. And we have lived for 30 or 40 years making records, which are collections of 12 songs, and selling those to consumers at a certain price. The digital model is a different model, and while there are still those that will buy a full collection of songs in the 12 to 14 song bundles, more often than not, consumers are buying single songs or 2 or 3 songs. And that puts a lot of pressure on a label and on all of the constituents in the music chain, because we're no longer generating the same amount of revenue off the recording process, et cetera, that we once did. So we're trying to find new ways to monetize music. We're trying to find new models for recording music, et cetera. It's going to force a good bit of change in the business model of the music industry. You can be scared of that. You can be challenged by that. You can shy away from that. Or you can embrace it as really an exciting time in the history of an industry. And I think digital music is going to dramatically change what happens in our industry and how people consume music. More music is consumed today than ever before. And even though the monetized part of that category isn't what it was 4 or 5 years ago, I think we'll find our way back and enjoy the benefits of the broader reach and use that digital music has brought to bear. So I'm excited about the future of music, but I think we may go through a rocky period here for continuing on for the next 5 to, as I said before, maybe even 10 years until we kind of figure out exactly what does this new model look like. In terms of Christian music, the web is probably one of the best things that ever happened to Christian music. We've forever been challenged with getting our music heard by consumers and availability of our music at retail. We sell about half of our records go through mainstream retailers and about half go through specialty retail stores, both of which have strengths and weaknesses. But in general, we have issues that our music is not as accessible as we want it to be. And with the birth of digital music, websites, DSPs like iTunes, et cetera, suddenly our full catalog of product and every record that we release is available to everyone. And we've seen nothing but good results from that in terms of our sales online and people connecting with our music online, website traffic, et cetera, is all very, very positive for Christian music. So as a niche player looking for a broader footprint in the overall music market, digital music and the growth of great community websites like Pure Volume or like MySpace has done nothing but help us. So we're excited about Christian music overall. Yeah, I think religion and faith is like anything else. It has to be relevant. You have to bring that into the person's life where they live today. And new media is part of our world and part of kids' lives. A lot of our music is targeted at young people anywhere from, really, I guess, starting at 9, 10, 11 years old, certainly up through their 30s and 40s is probably the span of where most of our music goes. The role of new media and the role of the web and digital music has it plays different roles at different age groups. It's a very social function for the younger end of the spectrum. It's more informational probably as you get older into the spectrum. But for us, it's really about finding ways to communicate with people that are very relevant. New media is the relevant vehicle right now, the web, artist websites, et cetera. It's just natural that we would go there and to be part of that environment and to try to bring it to life in a way that makes sense for our artists. Some of our artists are very deep communicators, want to develop and communicate deep spiritual thoughts beyond their music. They have a platform to speak into people's lives, and they'll use that platform. And so some of the websites are really, feel very much like you're opening someone's journal or their diary, and that artist is speaking at a spiritual level of what's going on in their lives and their ministry and speaking back to their fans. Other artists are, not as wired to do it that way and allow it to let the music speak more. And so the websites take on a feel for what the artist and how the artist wants to communicate, whether it's a ministry standpoint, a music standpoint, or whatever.